Wonderful monologue piece and all of the other wonderful performances that have taken place, which is truly wonderful. I really want to thank Kiefer and Nick for giving me the opportunity and the chance to do this. Not really usually something that I normally do, and so I was panicking a little bit when I was asked to do something a few days before doing it. But I'm going to try and do this adaptation and do it some justice. Hello again, old friends. I'm here not to talk about the Count, but to tell you that I'm dying. I am dying of love, Agora. That's all there is to it. Listen to me. From the moment I first saw her, I fell in love. And I have been in love with her ever since. And it is that love that is killing me. She was so beautiful, so alive. And when I kissed her, it was the first time I had ever kissed a woman before. She was so alive and so beautiful. It was as if she was already dead. Why do you shake me so? You are not listening to me. Go away. I am dying, yes. I'm dying for love. And I kissed her when she was alive. Listen to the ring. I kissed her on the forehead. My lips pressed against her skin and she didn't recoil in terror from me. Have you ever done so? Have you ever had the opportunity to kiss someone on the forehead? It was such beauty, and I couldn't understand why she was such a sweet and beautiful girl. Is she alive? Is she dead? No, I don't think so. But that is out of my hands now. She isn't dead. I would never harm a hair upon her brow. She's a sweet and beautiful girl. And she is the reason why you are still alive, Dragora. Until this point, nobody even knew you existed. To be frank, you ceased to exist in anyone's mind. But yes, she was the one that saved you. What were you doing with him? You fool, you both could have been killed. She pleaded and she begged me to save both of you. But as I reminded her, as I turned the scorpion and watched the water rise to consume you both, the very fact that she was here, the moment that she came, she had already agreed of her own free will that she was my fiancée, my wife. And you can't have two fiancés. There can only be one. So, where do we stand on this? Simply, your life was unimportant. It ceased to exist. You were a distant memory. But yet, she pleaded, she begged me to save you both. So from that moment, as I heard you both screaming to your death as the water rised, she swore to me, as God as her witness, she said to me that we would both be together as man and wife. She told me that she would not run away, no, that she would not kill herself. She promised me so. She told me this, and I listened. Oh, Dragora, her eyes were so beautiful, so blue, so rich. And because of those words, I was lost into the depth of her eyes, and from what in the past that I had only seen nothing but the fortune of darkness and death, in her eyes I saw the promise of life. Life, Dragora! So the promise was made. I said that I would rescue you, and I did. I went into the lake and I retrieved both of you, but yet you were so close to dying, Dragora. I was surprised that you even lived, but you did. And as I carried you up back to the ground where I promised I would, and I left you there, and I returned, and I went back to the Count Felipe's room to finally have my, well, Dragora, I couldn't kill him just like that. And I couldn't just have him being brought back into the house upon the lake because Christine was there. So I locked him up nicely. I placed chains upon him comfortably, and I left with the Marzadan Smith of the air that left him limp and soft like a bag. I took him to the communist's dungeon in the deepest and darkest part of the opera house beyond the vaults, where no one would ever go and no one will ever hear him scream. I made this promise, and once locked away, I returned back to Christine, and she was waiting for me. Yes, she was waiting for me. Oh, she stood there, radiant and beautiful, like a real living bride. I walked to her, staggered gently as if a newborn child learning to walk for the first time. But she did not turn away. She did not run and hide. She waited there for me. And dare I say it, it almost felt like she offered her forehead to me. Not much, but just a little. As if she offered her forehead to me like a real bride. And I kissed her. I did. I kissed her. My lips pressed against her head, and she did not recoil away from me. You do not understand, Dragora. You will never understand. My own mother, my sweet, unhappy mother, would never let me kiss her. She would push me away, shun me as if I never existed, gave me this mask to hide my shame, nor with any other woman for that matter. But she didn't. So can you imagine? So happy
that she allowed me to do this, I fell upon my knees and I cried. I cried, kissing her feet, her tiny, beautiful feet. I cried so many tears, and yet she stood with me as if any bride would do. She stood with me and she held me. Oh, Dragora, such kindness and such love was something that I had never imagined. Oh, mighty gods, you have given me nothing but the happiness that any man should deserve. But as I laid there on her feet, I felt tears land upon my brow. I wasn't sure at first and thought I was just imagining, but they were real tears. They fell behind my mask and they reached my eyes and they mingled with my tears. Yes, Dragora, they mingled with my tears. And the tears continued down to my lips so I could taste and know that they were real. And did you know what I did, Dragora? Do you know what I did? I took off my mask and made sure that every single tear that was shed upon her eyes would never miss and all reached my face. And yet, when I showed her my shame, she did not turn away. She was not disgusted with my looks. She stayed and she comforted me. Oh. And then she wept. She wept with me. Yes, Dragora, I can see you crying as well. She cried with me and we both wept together. The time is against us, and I must not linger much longer. Listen to me, Dragora, and listen well. As I laid there at her feet and she comforted me, she spoke to me and said, "My poor unhappy Eric, my poor unhappy Eric." And she took my hand and held it tightly. And it was at that moment that I knew that I was her faithful hound and that I would die for her. So, as she held, I reached into my hands and I showed the gold ring, a small, simple, banded gold ring, which I gave to her. It was the one that I had given to her previously and she had lost, and yet I had found it for her once again. It was a wedding ring. I placed it into her tiny hands and said, "Here, take it. This is for you, my wedding gift for you and your count. Take this wedding gift for him and you. I know how much you love that boy, so don't cry for me any longer." And she said, "I do not understand. What of these words do you speak of?" And I made her understand. I told her that I was nothing more than her faithful hound that would die for her. But when she felt it was right, she could take the ring and give it to him and they could be married when she saw fit. And I allowed her to do this because your tears mingled with mine and I was your poor unhappy Eric. Give me a moment, Dragora, please. I released the young boy from the prison. I guided him up and I watched them embrace. I saw that Christine had worn the gold ring upon her finger, and she said to me that she would wear it until the moment of my death. And I told her that when I was to die and move on, she would come back to the opera house at the dead of night and bury me at the house behind the lake in secrecy, and to bury that ring with me. She was my angel. Oh, Gregora, my heart broken was torn asunder saying such words to her. But it was because of this blessing, this kind gift that she gave me, that I had to watch her go. So she came and she kissed me. She kissed me for the first time. And then she left with him. And I wept alone. I hope she keeps her promise. I hope that she will be happy. But for you, my friends, when I die, my most prized and precious possessions will be yours. For all the kindness and gratitude that I give you. Thank you, my friends. Goodbye,